Hey y'all, so I'm back with another story time. But before I get into it, let's like, comment, share, and subscribe. So this video gonna be called How I Found Out I Was a Mistress. Not a side chick, but a whole mistress. Okay, so um years ago, I was driving shuttle buses for the hospital. So it was this man. He used to get on the bus. He was like probably about 20 years older than me. But he used to get on the bus all the time. You could tell he was like a little jazz. He was a little hip. He had a little souped up truck, and he wasn't like the rest of the men from the hospital that got on the bus. He got on the bus like he sold dope or something. But anyways, so we had started, talking when he would get on my bus. Then I started noticing like he would. So we had a rotation. So he would let the other bus, he wouldn't get on the other bus. He would just get on my bus to go to his car. So, we was talking and, conversating, whatever. He had asked me for my number. We had exchanged numbers. We started talking on the phone. And we was also, seeing each other while I was at work. So, one day he had asked me like, you dating somebody or whoop de wop. I'm like, no, I ain't in no relationship right now. So he was like, well, I'm real interested in you and I would like to see where things could go and blah, blah, this. So I'm like, oh, okay. I thought he was a nice guy. I'm like, I've been dealing with these damn thugs. I need to try something different. An older, established man. So, we had exchanged numbers. We started, talking on the phone, and then we started going on dates, and I had introduced him to the kids. He started coming to the house, and I had been to his house, so everything was great. But I had told him in the beginning, I'm like, you older, like, or you married, or going through a separation or anything, like attached to anybody. So he was like, nah, I'm not, nope. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, cause I don't mess with married men. Like, if you got a girlfriend, I might could mess with you. But no, this but a wife, I ain't even. Y'all stood in front of the Lord and pledged y'all love to each other, and I'm not finna get in the middle of that. So he was like, no, 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 I am not married, and whoop de wop. I'm like, okay. So I had been to his house and everything. So we had been dating a couple of months, and I had started getting phone calls. Like, first they started out like call and hang up, call and hang up, block call. Back then we didn't have like we only had like on the call ID like and if it came up it was block call, you couldn't start 69 back. That's we didn't have all this fancy stuff that we got now. So for a minute I was getting like these hang up calls. So then I started getting like messages like, so you like messing with people's husband? And I'm like, somebody husband, ma'am, I don't mess with people's husband. So I thought. So I had went to him, I'm like, I've been getting, some weird phone calls and messages and somebody saying I'm messing with somebody's husband. Is you somebody's damn husband? He used to call me Bookie. No, Bookie, no. I am not married. I told you, done been in my house and you didn't, you everything. So I'm like, he kind of got a little point there. So, I roll with it. So, excuse me, y'all. So, one day we had went shopping. We had went on a boat. We had went to eat. We had a great day. Cause he wasn't stingy and he wasn't cheap, but we had a great day. So the job that he was like a supervisor over a certain department in a hospital. So he would be on call. I guess that's how he kept everything in this entanglement together. So when we had came from the boat and stuff and out to eat, he was like, well, Bookie, I gotta go to the job and I gotta handle some stuff real fast and I'm gonna call you later. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So he leaves and go to work. So I'm at the house, minding my own damn business. So I get a phone call. So first, when I answer the phone, I'm like, hello? They hung up. So I tried to store 69 back. When I store 69 back, the person answered the phone, but like you heard like it sounded like some tussling, like, then the phone hung up. So then I tried to call it back. Then nobody answered. So I'm like, that's weird. So, and then I called it back because when they had called, I guess they was in a rush or something. They didn't press store 69. I mean, they didn't block the call. So, I'm like, okay, that's weird. I ain't gonna keep calling back. So I went on about my day. So I'm gonna say probably about 2 or 3 hours later, I get a phone call. So I answer, I'm like, hello? Baby, it's a lady on the phone. She is cussing me the fuck out. Do you hear me? I'm talking about I was every type of slut, hoe, bitch, skank it was in the book. She was cussing, baby, she was cussing me the fuck out. I was appalled. Like, ma'am. So I'm like, hold on, baby. I'm gonna need you to bring it down like a notch. Cause we can't figure out nothing with all these vulgarities and yelling and screaming and all that. Cause I ain't did shit to you. So I thought. But if I did do something to you, it wasn't voluntarily. So she was like, you know what, you're right. So she was like, so she had calmed down. She had apologized. She was like, I'm sorry for coming to you like that and, whatever. So I'm like, okay, so what's going on? So she was like, do you know a man named, we gonna call him Cat Daddy. Do you know a man named Cat Daddy? I'm like, yeah. She was like, how well do you know him? I'm like, Cat Daddy, that's my boyfriend. That's my man. She was like, oh. I said, what's the problem? She said, well, Cat Daddy is my husband. Like, girl, what? So I'm like, your husband? She like, yeah. I'm like, how long he been your damn husband? A week or so? Cause he ain't never appeared married to me. Baby, that woman said 20 years. She had been married to this man for 20 years. So I'm like, really? I was appalled. So she was like, yeah, I've been, that was me. I had been calling you and, I had to get up the nerve to, say something to you. And today I had been tracking his purchases on his Visa card. And she was like, she was like, so y'all went shopping today? I'm like, yeah. She was like, and y'all was on the boat? I'm like, yeah. She was like, I'm like, yeah. So she was like, I had tried to call you earlier at the house, but he came and he hung up the phone. So when the phone rang back and I answered it, she was like, he grabbed the phone and snatched it and pulled it out the wall. So she was like, so I had to wait till he went to sleep so that I could leave out the house and come to the payphone. I'm calling you from the payphone. So I'm on the phone like, girl, for real? He did that? She like, yes. I'm like, so where he at now? She say, he at the house, he sleep. I said, look, I want you to do me this favor. I want you to go back to the house, plug the phone back up, and call me and give him the phone. So she was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that because, he was in a real uproar and blah, blah this and whoop de wop this. I'm like, okay. I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna page him and he gonna call me back. Cause we ain't had like cell phones and all that back then. So I'm like, I'm gonna page him. He gonna call me back. She was like, okay. So I said, so if you see him get on the phone, I'm like, do y'all got, more than one phone in the house? She was like, yeah. I said, so if you see him look at his page and he go get on the phone, I want you to go get on the other phone. She was like, all right. Baby, I had to tell the auntie how to play the game, Lord. So anyway, so we get off the phone. I give her a few minutes to get back home. She told me it was gonna take about 10 minutes to get back home. I'm like, all right. So I paged him. First he didn't answer. It was like 20 minutes after I had paid him, he didn't answer. So I paged him again. I put 911 in. So he calls back. So I'm like, what you doing? What's going on? Oh, I'm just finna leave work and, whoop-de-wop and blah, blah, this. Babe, why sis picked the phone up? She was like, you just left work? He like, could you get off the phone? So then he starts calling me by my last name. So he like, miss. I'm like, oh, so bitch, now I'm miss. But just earlier and any other day, I'm motherfucking Bookie. But today I'm miss, huh? So he like, I don't know what's going on. And, this just someone that I work with and blah, blah, this. I'm just somebody you work with, but you be having your face all down in the girl all the time. So she was like, so y'all went shopping and y'all went this and that. No, we did not. I went shopping and she was like, so where the stuff at that you bought? He couldn't explain it. She was like, and how you eat such and such amount of dollars worth of food, that looked like a dinner for two. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I asked your big grown old ass, was you married? And you told me no. Because I would have never fooled with you if I knew you was fucking married. And you lied to me. I'm like, so after this, the conversation is over. When you see me at work, don't speak to me. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. Because I'm liable to bust you upside your goddamn head. So I had, told the wife, I'm like, you know what? I really apologize. But like, I didn't know. I promise you I didn't know. So she was like, it's all good, this not his first time doing this and whoop-de-wop. So why you still with his old cheating ass? I'm trying to, we just moved here from another state and I'm trying to get myself together and blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So we gets off the phone. So, I believe it was late on that night. She calls me. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's some more drama. So she calls me. So she was like, I just wanted to call you and apologize for coming to you like that. And, apologize for what my husband, did to you and involved you in. I'm like, it's good. I'm like, you don't have to apologize to him. He grown. He know better. Or do we? But he know better. He's supposed to fucking know better. So she was like, well, you know what? Since he likes to take you out on dates and spend money and all this, how about me and you go out and we have dinner and have drinks on him? I'm like, all right, I guess. So we had made plans for that weekend to go out to dinner and have drinks and, talk and get to know each other. So, he had called me and he was like, that's very messy. Do not, go out with my wife and blah, blah. Boy, fuck you. I mean, Grandpa, fuck you. I don't know who you think you talk to. Didn't I tell you don't call my phone? That make me go up to that job and bust the windows out the truck. I'll bust the window. No, just but make me. Don't play with me. So, we goes out. We had dinner. We had drinks. We talked. And we had stayed in contact with each other for months. Like, she had found her little friend. And, she stepped out on his ass. And she called me and, she was like, girl, I had messed up. I done stayed out all night. I wasn't even intending on staying out. I just fell asleep and, whooped it whop and blah blah this. So I'm like, so sis, what you gonna do? She like, I don't know. She was like, I need to change my clothes and all this and all that. So I'm like, well, if you're gonna do whole things, you're gonna have to, keep you a whole bag, with some change of clothes, some underwear, some, all the shit that you need. She was like, you right. She was like, I'm finna run to Walmart or whatever and get me some underwear and stuff and some some cleaning stuff. I'm going to the bathroom and change before I go in the house. I'm like, all right. So like I said, we had kept in touch for some months. And then I guess everything just like fizzled out. But one day I had came outside to go to work. And it was a note on my car said, hey Bookie, I miss you. And I love you. And I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you. Sir, have a good damn day. Anyway, so if y'all like this story, like, comment, and subscribe. And hope you all having a good day.